Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Kalpesh Patel, and I'm super excited to be presenting another edition of Nuts and Bolts Training, which we do every Tuesday evening. Well, evening if you're in the UK, and I am at the moment. It's freaking freezing right now. Goodness, what the hell have I got myself into? I had a very intimate day today. I had a funeral of my auntie earlier on today, and most amazing ceremony, really beautiful gathering, and lots of beautiful words shared and memories shared, etc. But goodness, the bit after the after the cremation, you go outside, and in our culture, we all line up, make a big long line, the immediate family, and hug each other as everyone leaves. And there's about a good couple of hundred people at the funeral. And my goodness, I swear to God, my testicles shrunk by about 3 sizes. I was like, what is going on here today? Anyway, I'm not used to this anymore. So yeah, you quickly adapt to your new environment. So sunshine is definitely my preferred go-to place. But we handle the freezing cold. I don't know why. My bones hurt. I ache. I love the hot shower that I had when I got home. But that's part of it, right? Handling what's given to you as and when it happens. We want to talk tonight about what it is to succeed. Let's talk about the subject of success. And I'm going to do something a little bit more interactive as well, because it starts better this way. When you talk about a subject like this, success means something different to everybody. So me telling you what I think it means would be a bit pointless, because that would just be my point of view, my perspective. But I want to hear from you guys. What is success to you? And no fancy elaborate sentences or paragraphs. I want you to choose words. Like if you had a word, just one word, what would that word be? In fact, let's make it a little bit easier. Rather than one word that equals success, one word that describes the attributes of people that are successful. Think of a word that comes to mind when you think of anyone successful in any field. When you think of people at the top of their game, when you think of people that are all cylinders firing, in the zone, making it happen, what is the one word that comes to mind? And I want you all to just actually, there's no chat here, so we'll have it. I'm going to unmute everyone, but no, I'm not going to unmute everyone. I've tried that before. That gets a bit hectic. I'm going to ask you to raise your hands, but I'm going to ask all of you to raise your hands, right? So in order of raising your hands, we will then take your one word. And here's the name of the game. Whatever somebody else says, write it down for your benefit, all right? So you have your word, but there'll be lots of other words shared. And so if we all make a list of the words that we come up with, then we can have a really beautiful formula, if you like, to work on. So starting with Dr. Vinod, what is your word of the day?
Hi, Kalpesh Patel. Please accept my condolences on the tragic loss in your family. For me, success is freedom.
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 Love that. Thank you. Freedom works for me. Absolutely. One of my highest values, something that I've always dreamt of and strived for, and continually teach others to think about and dream about. Monica, word of the day.
Completion for me.
Completion. Loving that. That's a beautiful one. Thank you, Monica. That is a great word for success. Mick.
Hey, Calbs.
Hey, buddy.
Greetings from hospital.
Oh, you've broke your ankle, right?
Broke my ankle, yeah.
Bless you.
So just the word, condolences first of all to you. The word before anyone else uses it is fulfillment.
So what?
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment. Very good. Fulfillment. Very, very good. Very powerful. Next, we have Peter. Hi, Peter. Your success word.
Thank you. Yeah, independence.
Independence. Nice. Okay, very good. Dizzy, what's your word for success? When you see successful people, what are you seeing?
Awareness.
Awareness. Wow. Love that. Sharon, what we got?
Well, I did have something else that somebody else said.
but I'm not allowed to use the same one.
No.
For me, it's, I believe, satisfaction.
There we go. Satisfaction.
Yeah.
Lovely. Good, good. We have a Zoom user in the house. Go for it.
Hi, Kelps.
Hey, hey.
How are you?
Hey, Carl. How you doing, buddy?
Good, good. Sorry, we have load shedding here.
Yes.
And
What's your
so
word, my friend?
mine is consistency.
Consistency. Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you. Helen, hiya. Go for it. What's your word that describes success for you? Unmute yourself, please.
Confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah, I do.
Beautiful. Love that. Thank you. We'll take that one for sure. Grandpa Crypto.
Happiness.
Sorry?
Happiness.
Happiness.
Being happy.
Love that. Absolutely beautiful. Yep. Being happy is key. Tony.
Kalpesh, condolences. First of all, Grandmother Crypto has just used my word happiness, but I also had freedom, and that was the very first one given tonight. So
Yeah, it gets harder as you go along, right?
absolutely.
So what's your new word?
Bloody hell, let me think.
I'll give you a second to think and I'll go to John quickly. John?
Abundance. Hello, yes. Hi, good evening.
Yes.
Condolences to your family, first
Thank
of
you,
all.
John.
Condolences to your family.
Sorry, let me just quickly unmute everyone first. And that way we can mute all. And then John, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Commitment.
Sorry?
Commitment.
Commitment. Absolutely awesome. We definitely need that one on the list. Very good. Tony, back to you.
Deserving.
Deserving. That's a big, big subject right there. Goodness. You loaded the barrel there, didn't you? Thank you. Love it.
Oops, sorry.
Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hi there. Hi. Loving, being able to love.
Beautiful. Look at that. Often the invisible one that goes a long, long way and hardly is ever spoken about. So thank you for adding that one on there. Beautifully done. And then we've got Edgar. Go ahead and unmute, buddy.
Success means achieving something.
Achievement. Boom.
Yes.
There you go. Achieving. So yeah, progress, right? Achieving. Thank you. So there's a nice mix of words there. So these are words that now when you look at that list that you've all should have made a note of, now I want you to tick and be honest with yourself. You're not trying to impress anyone here. This isn't an open exam. It's a self-awareness test. Tick the ones that you honestly, hand on heart, truly believe that you have mastery around. Not that you have flavors of, essences of, moments of, but mastery. Like it's just, that's who you are. That is, you know, if somebody looks at you, that's what they see. Bang. On each one, just put little, score yourself actually, just so you can see where you can make progress. If you had to score yourself, 1 being the lowest score and 5 being the highest score, what would you score yourself out of 5 on each one of those? Give yourself a number. Just go down the list on each one. Just give yourself a number. Be really honest with yourself. This isn't to impress anyone, definitely not there to impress yourself. We often impress ourselves for no reason whatsoever. So don't try and impress yourself. Just be real with yourself. And what should open up is a gap for improvement, a growth gap, right? Some space for improvements for yourself. Dr. Vinod. Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Peter said independent. Well, I think I scored 5 for independent because I'm very independent person.
You are.
This is said awareness. I think I'm aware of most of things. I gave myself 6 for the awareness because I know what's going on and I try and catch everybody what they're going. Peter said confidence. Well, I have enough confidence to talk to anybody. Confidence means go ahead and say, look, I've got this and this, and I've got confidence. Grandpa said happiness. I'm always happy. And John said commitment. 7 for the commitment because I'm committed to whatever I do in life. Andrew said loving. Well, I'm a loving person and I give 7 again for loving. And Edgar said achievement, progress. Well, I'm going for that very soon and very fast.
Wow. Look at that. Thank you, Dr. Vinod. Exceeding expectations there, going for the 6s and the 7s as well. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. So all of you will have, unless you're Dr. Vinod, of course, but you've got your numbers in front of you. You have a gap in some of those areas where you can say, you know what, that's where I have some hesitation. That's where I have a little bit of learning to do or growth to do, improvements to do. That's what you want to be working on, right? So these are some of the things that we look at when we see success in other people, right? Now, so they were great descriptions, by the way. I want you to focus a little bit more on the actions of successful people now, all right? Have a little think. What are successful people? What are some of the habits or actions, or things that you can take on and measure and do? What are some of the actions that produce success? And just start jotting some down. Actions of success, specifically for our industry, right? So zone in now. I want you to make your list of words for you, and then we'll see if we take some sharing as well. Actions you can take to climb the ranks, like that specific, right? Success in network marketing is measured by climbing ranks. So rank advancement is the name of the game. What actions do people that climb ranks take the most of? Edgar, go for it.
Yeah, success people, I think, the kind of people who welcome the challenge. And
what are the actions that they take?
They always think positive and find their way out.
They say that again, think?
They believe that there's always a way out.
They believe that there's a way out. So they're solution oriented, right? Solution oriented.
Yes.
How does that look in terms of actions? So now you're climbing the ranks. What actions, like what would that look like in terms of actions? Finding a solution or way out of what?
Yeah, I believe in every obstacle, there is an opportunity on it.
In every, yes, I get that. In every adversity, there's an opportunity. Great. I want to know, so that's all good. I want to know what are the actions that people that climb ranks take?
Yeah, they live one day at a time.
I think we all do that. Try a little bit harder. I'll give you a couple of minutes to have a little ponder, and I'll come back to you. I'm going to come to Sue first. Sue, actions successful people take in this industry.
Yes, I've got a few here. Setting goals, sharing, studying, and then closing it down.
So setting goals, sharing, studying, and closing it down. I like that. Very good. Almost a sequence to that as well. So wonderful. Thank you. Then we've got Peter. How are we doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Sue's actually already said my word, but what I was going to say was sharing, but actually it's about income producing activity.
Oh, beautiful.
That's what I would summarize it as in 3 words. So yeah.
No, that's beautiful. So income producing activities, IPAs, absolutely beautiful, because that narrows it down even more. Sharing is loose.
Yes.
So you can share with 50 people, but if you're ineffectively sharing and it doesn't produce any results and income, then you need to quickly pivot and improve and do something about the way that you're sharing, right? So income producing activities allows us to measure our sharing or our setting of goals or our closing or whatever other thing, income is a great, great measure. So thank you. Very, very good, Peter. We now have Monica. Go for it. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay, I have a few. My list starts with confidence. They're very, very confident in themselves and in what they look to achieve and go after. They're very dedicated. Dedication means in the sense of this, they committed to what it is that they're doing, and they go all out to do the studies, to do the groundwork for it. They are motivated as well, because it takes motivation for a person to do that. And they know what it is they want to achieve. They're consistent in what they're doing. They don't say, I'm going to do it today, and tomorrow they leave it out the next week. I'll come back the next week. They're not complacent at all. They're well structured. That goes with it. Their exercise both their mind and their exercise their health to keep them moving, because that also take off a lot of toxic. One of the most things that I find here too, there are very, very people, there are people full of gratitude. I only find people that with gratitude achieves these things, and they believe in sharing all that they have when it comes to information, so someone else can get it. There's a lot more, but I will stop there.
Very good. And you know, some nice additions there. Gratitude for sure. Practicing gratitude on a consistent basis is one of the most powerful tools on your side. So thank you for that. Dr. Vinod.
Hi, Kalpesh. For me, action of successful people are to write down the goal. Once you've written down your goal, which is my goal is to become a 5-star soon, commitment. Have your commitment, 1% every day. That's my commitment. Practice, ring up, make an appointment and go and see them. And lastly, follow the leader like Sue Patel. Says 6-star, I'm following her. Kalpesh says 8-star, follow him and go around with 9-star, follow them. Make them copy whatever they do, and you can probably achieve whatever you want to do in life.
Very, very good. Thank you for that. So, learning from upline is very, very powerful. Of course, remaining in that student mode. John?
Yes, can you hear me, Cal?
Yep.
Obviously, there's many good points that have been mentioned, but one thing that successful people do is that they cherish that which cannot be replaced, so they manage their time very effectively and efficiency.
Very, very good. Time management is a huge, huge skill, and responsible for so many different things: productivity, efficiency, effectiveness. All sorts of great things come when you start managing your time better, for sure. Thank you. Zoom user, you're back. Colin.
Hi, Kelps. Yeah, you stole my words. So your time frame. So it's always the best to know where you're going, and to have a time frame every day to schedule how fast you're going to get on top of the plan.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So scheduling. It's shocking how few people operate from a diary, and it's, you know, when you do, you suddenly see just how much time you actually have. You know, when you put things in your diary and you look at all the gaps, there's always more gaps that you can take advantage of. So yeah, managing those slots increases production, of course. Dizzy?
Yeah, I think one of the actions is making new contacts. That's important, because you know, if you've been in the game for a while, you kind of end up going back to the same people, kind of banging your head against the wall, and you've got to keep interacting with new people. And I think that's really important. And being excited, you've got to be excited about what it is you're doing, where it is you're going. I was walking through Tesco the other day, and this guy came up to me and goes, "Mate, I want to be like you." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Just the way, I can just tell you're relaxed, don't you? I want to be like you." So you've got to have that thing about you, I think. So I knew when that happened, I thought, right, I'm in the right frame here, because he wants to know what I do. And I said, look, I teach people how to get into crypto. And he goes, well, I want to get in. So we exchanged details, and he said, look, we'll be in touch soon. So yeah, I think that's important, to always stay on the pulse all the time.
Absolutely brilliant. And I love how you demonstrated how being relaxed produces results. Absolutely awesome. Walk through Tesco's, being relaxed and beaming the energy of success. And yeah, that's a huge learning in itself, right? A lot of people call it attraction marketing, where people come to you versus you going to them, right? You're not chasing them, they're chasing you. So what are you doing to differentiate yourself? What has you show up that others get curious and want to know more? Yeah. So, what energy are you delivering as you're walking around? What are you radiating into the world? Eugene.
Albus, can you hear me?
We can now, yes, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so for me, I've got 3 words written down that I think, most successful people do. Number 1, for me, probably the most important is channeling emotion, especially when you start out. Things can sometimes get tough and you feel disgruntled and all those kind of things. So that will probably be my number 1. The second one is resilience.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one for me is the ability to adapt. This is new, for me. I think any endeavor for any person, if he goes in, in a brand new thing, regardless of actually what it is, he needs to learn how to adapt.
Wow, you picked some real gems there. Thank you for that. And huge additions. I mean, adapting is huge. So many people struggle. We get stuck where we are. Most humans are addicted to their past rather than focusing on the future. Sorry, Eugene, you want to say something more about that?
I'm just saying that's me, struggling to adapt, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people struggle with that one, right? We get stuck where we are. And then, getting emotional management, emotional mastery is a huge one. It's one of my favorite subjects. How do you interrupt your reactions? Because it's, most people react to life, right? Most people are in constant state of reaction, and learning to pause before reacting, pause and process before reacting. And what I call that is responding rather than reacting. Reacting means that it's a familiar way of being. You're reacting. You've already done it before. You're going to do it again. Every time somebody presses that button, it's predictable what happens to you. That means you have zero emotional mastery. But when you respond, the ability to respond to something, respond kind of falls into responsible, right? You're responding, you're responsible, you're being responsible for what happens. And there's a whole set of power that comes in that space as well. So thank you. You added some gems there. Monica, go for it.
One more thing. I realized that they usually work with a system and they stick to it.
Yes, systems always
That
work.
becomes, they don't divert from that at all. For
Yeah.
success, you have to be obedient and disciplined. So you keep with the system.
Yes.
And you continue moving forward to achieve it.
Absolutely. The closer you can work with the system, the smoother the journey gets. And so we often say that, don't we? Systems work, people don't. And so, yeah, really good. Thank you for that. Following a system. Sharon. Unmute yourself.
Sorry, I'm on, aren't I?
Yep, you are now.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that I think people want to run before they can walk.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, just from experience of coaching over the years, it's about seeing the end result and how do you work towards doing that. And it's all about simple steps every single day. It's one foot in front of the other one. And as long as you don't give up, I'm a true believer in, I've taught judo for years and I've taught, international players, and I watched the children, and it wasn't the talented that made it. It wasn't the best that made it. People think it is. Yeah, there was talent there. I watched talent being thrown down the toilet so many times. I wanted to shake them, kick them, batter them, because they were so talented. They thought it was okay. And And for me, it's about consistency, and it's if you can do something today and do it again tomorrow and do it again the day after, and you're getting nowhere, right? You're getting nowhere, but trust me, just trust me. Try it for 4 weeks. I challenge everybody every single day. Just do your thing. Just do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. And trust me, something happens. It might be one little thing. And all of a sudden, you start to gain that little bit of confidence and you start to explore. Remember to change it up. Don't keep doing and doing and doing and nothing's happening. Remember, if some tweak it, you know, but as long as you're consistent, I believe that you can do anything, whether it's losing weight, making an income. You know, I tell people all the time, making money is don't chase the money. Money is energy. And it will come. If you can guide your energy the right way, that's just part of what happens. That will just naturally flow in, you know.
Beautiful. Thank you. So yeah, zoning yourself in, training, and that's like, I like how you refer to your judo there. I mean, consistency, training every day. I remember as a kid when I used to go to karate classes, and it was like every week I'd go to the class and every week was the same lesson. I'm like, when are we going to learn something new? And it's like, no, that is the learning. The learning is that you've got to master whatever it is that you've taken on already before you can learn something new. And oftentimes we want to bite off more than we can chew. We want to learn all of the katas instead of mastering the first one, the foundation, so you can then move on to the second one, right? Go on, Sharon.
I wanted to talk about that. Do you know that bad habits takes you 1,000 times to do something? Say you have a bad technique, and I'm referring to the judo, but you have a bad technique. Do you know it takes you 1,000 times to get that, put you on the right time to make it right? So if you've been doing something over and over and over again, it takes 1,000 times. Imagine that. Hey, you've been doing that wrong. Been the last 2 years. Right, I'm going to have to fix it. How do I do it? Well, we used to do things called uchikomi. And uchikomi is where you step into a technique and come back out. And we used to do, my judo coach used to make me some nights do 1,000 of them. And they were horrible. And the sweat will be dripping off you. But now, can I finish now? No. You know, so it's all about consistency and 1,000 times. So you have to do something 1,000 times, guys, if you're doing something wrong. Sorry about that.
No, brilliant. I love it. So it reminds me of wax on, wax off for those of you that are Karate Kid fans. You know, you're sitting there going, what is he talking about? Painting up and painting down. And, you know, step by step, you don't even know that you're learning, but getting out in the field, doing what needs to be done, even when it's not working, it's frustrating, it's mundane, it's boring, it's like non-eventful, it's all of those things, and doing it anyway, stepping out of that front door, walking to a venue where there are other people, smiling, saying hello, having a conversation, even though some might not respond, some might ignore you. Once in a while, someone responds back, and then there's an opportunity for you to learn to interact. Sometimes the interaction goes badly. Sometimes it falls flat on its face. Sometimes it turns into something. Sometimes it's, hey, what is it? There's something about you. I want to do what you do. I want to know what you're up to. You look really relaxed in the supermarket. What do you do? Oh, I teach people crypto. I want to learn about crypto. And it's as easy as that. And it's getting to that point where it becomes easy for you. It only becomes easy once you've gone through the not easy for a period of time. And then suddenly you crack what it is, the sequence that makes it easy. So look, really thank you for that as well. Lots and lots of really great points made all around, lots of learning there. So here are laser focused, some of the activities that produce the biggest incomes, right? So, and again, be mindful, there are income producing activities. I can't remember who mentioned that, but income producing activities. And then there are non-income producing activities as well. Beware of those. Beware of the things that take you out of the game. All right. So income producing activities, easy peasy all day long. Everyone knows what they are. Meet more people, make more contacts, build more rapport, get enough people excited to want to take a look, invite them to a presentation, get them through the presentation, get them through it again if they didn't get it the first time or understand it, I only saw part of it. Follow up with them after the presentation, answer their questions, make them feel comfortable, get them over the line, as they say, and then duplicate, right? Teach them what you've learned and get them to learn the step-by-step process to duplicate, all right? Presenting, massive income producing activity. Getting people to a presentation is social proof and evidence, but presenting to people one-to-one is a massive leverage. If you're relying on one presentation a day that somebody does for you, that gives you 7 opportunities maximum a week if you're waiting on somebody else to do a presentation a day for you. If you're able to and you learn to present yourself, now you're limitless. You can do as many presentations as you like at any point in time of the day that you like. And here's what else happens when you start mastering the presentation, going over it over and over and over again, is that when you're having conversations with people, you'll pull from parts of that presentation that you've been speaking over and over again. It gets ingrained in you. You'll pull parts of it into a conversation, and it makes the piquing the interest easier. It makes the invitation easier. It makes closing the deal easier. It makes getting it over the line easier. Everything gets easier because you get really, really familiar. You get really familiar with the whole picture of everything. So learning to present, even if you're rubbish at presenting, learn to present anyway and practice on the people that you know are never going to join you, just so that you can improve your vocabulary and your relationship to the presentation and your relationship to the information, so that when you're out and about doing the invitations, your invitation will be 100 times better just because you understand the presentation. So income producing activities always are quite easy to identify. It's all in the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. The results are always there. The ranks show up. The incomes then start climbing up with it, etc., etc., etc. It's the non-income producing activities you want to watch out for. Non-income producing activities, NIPA. Watch out for the NIPAs. They will knock you out the game. Some of them I will quickly tap into, and you might want to share some of your NIPAs as well. But non-income producing activities could be things like, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea before I make my next call. Now, if you've made 10 calls already, and then you're going to make yourself a cup of tea before you make the next one, I'm not concerned at all. But if you're making your cup of tea before you've made your first call of the day, then you want to watch out. Does that then extend into, oh, just let me quickly check my messages on Facebook as well? Oh, while I'm at that, I'm just going to dive quickly into Instagram and LinkedIn. Oh, I've got some posts I need to quickly get on top of before I do that. Oh yeah, I remember I've got to go and visit Auntie so-and-so before I do. I'll go and visit my auntie first, and then I'll come around and you start putting things in the way. Just be mindful, be aware, right? Do you put things in the way of doing the little things? Very easily done. All right. You prioritize other things that are not producing income, and you make them really important. I'm not saying that they're not important. I'm saying when you make them more important than your success, then your success will always be back of the queue, back of the line. Success will always be waiting somewhere. Your success has got to go to the top of the queue. It's got to become a priority. And you'll see this in every book and every audio and every video. I touch on it often as well. A certain level of obsession needs to take place. An obsession with progress, an obsession towards the goal, towards the end game, like the outcome, whatever it is you're looking for. There's a certain level of, unwavering commitment and focus where you say, you know what, I've got that post, but that can wait. The calls are more important. You know what, I could do with a cup of tea, but you know what, the tea has to be deserved, not what's that word we use for the modern generation, when they expect, somebody help me out here, when what's that word, where they expect it, when it's expected, it's like you're owed it, like life owes you a cup of tea. There is a word, it's gone out of my head right now, but it's like you got to have, hold on, practice like fasting, pausing, deny yourself delayed gratification. Say, right, do you know what? I'm going to have to do X, Y, and Z before I sit down, put my feet up and enjoy a nice hot cup of tea in this freezing cold weather. So freeze for a little bit longer and make the calls so that you've got that leverage over your habits. Watch the habits. Your habits, Sharon's touched on it. 1,000 times you got to do something to break a bad habit, right? They often say that about driving as well, isn't it? If you drive a certain way, the instructor finds it a lot harder to teach you to break your old habits than to teach somebody brand new that doesn't have any. And so it's the same old thing, right? See which of your habits are so ingrained that they let you down. And you don't even know that they're letting you down. Annika? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
The word you were looking for is entitlement.
There you go. Thank you. That's the word. Entitlement. So yeah, some of us have this entitlement mentality towards things like cups of tea and rest, extra sleep. You know what? You can have an abundance of all of those things when you've cracked success. But if you haven't cracked success, then you've got to flip the switch and say, do you know what? I often say this, you can't afford that cup of tea. Costs you too much. You can't afford to look into your emails. The cost is too high. The price is too high to pay. You can't afford to jump onto Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. You can't afford to do those things until you've done what needs to be done. You can't afford to watch television. Can't afford it because it costs you. It costs you income producing activities. So until you have that relationship in your head shifted, you'll always watch television before making money. You'll always open the post before making money. You'll always check your social media and scroll and get lost for a few minutes or maybe even a few hours. I heard some great news recently, by the way. TikTok. Yes. I only recently downloaded it. I go on TikTok maybe once a week, but TikTok has, I don't know if it's done yet, but I heard recently, they're looking into, at least anyway, I know that much, controlling the under 18s on TikTok, maximum 1 hour a day, 60 minutes a day max. Yes. Music to my ears when I heard that. An organization taking responsibility. For me, that's them surrendering the white flag, saying, you know what? Yeah, we are screwing up the population right now. We need to interfere. As you know, as much as we've created this thing, it is a monster and it's killing people's brains. So they're looking at doing a maximum of 1 hour for under 18s. I'm in all day long. 1 hour still too much, but never mind. We'll start with that. It's a win in the right direction, right? So yeah, you know, how many times do we get lost in social media? Like people spend hours on this stuff, hours. I remember during lockdown, my brother got addicted to TikTok. It used to make my stomach turn. Like he would wake up in the morning and just be on it for hours and hours and hours. And then like, it'd be like, oh, breakfast is ready. It'd take hours for him to get to the table. I'm exaggerating the hours to get to the table. You know, you'd have to prise the phone away from him to get him to the breakfast table or the dinner table. And it was unlike him. My brother doesn't do all of that stuff. It's really weird, but he got sucked in. So you can easily get sucked in, and he knows, he's aware and he's awake and he's all of those things. But there he was. His kids were complaining about it. His wife was complaining about it. His mum was complaining about it. I was complaining about it. Like everyone was like, what are you doing? Get a life, get a grip. Pull yourself away from that thing. But he just couldn't. Like it's almost like he was in a trance. He didn't even know he was in it, right? We all have that. We all do stuff and we don't even know how much of a grip it's got on us. I'm not saying become miserable and stop enjoying yourself. I'm saying just be aware when entertainment turns into something else. It becomes, when entertainment becomes an excuse not to act, not to get stuff done. Right? It's a fine line. It's a very, very fine line. We say, I know what I'm doing, and really you don't. Your subconscious has got such a strong grip on you. You've got no clue as to the impact it's having on your progress, on your journey of success. So some of the things you can use to leverage over these addictive habits. start with your goals, your dreams. Right? Start with dreams. Dreams are powerful if they're yours. What do you dream about for yourself? And if you don't dream enough, practice dreaming. I know that might sound a bit weird to some people. Practice dreaming. Most people do not dream. They don't even know how to dream. Dreaming is letting yourself wander off into possibility. Like the ultimate. What would the ultimate be like? And you can create that, right? What is the ultimate? We shared a lot of words that described how we perceive success when we see successful people. That's the ultimate, right? All of those things: freedom, time, money, do what you want, when you want, with who you want. You know, just all of that is available. You've got to tune the mind into that. It's a frequency you tap into. Like, we are energetic beings. Everything is energy. And it starts with what energy you tapped into. What frequency are you tapping into? Are you tapping into the frequency of success, which is all of the things that we've been discussing here today? Are you tapping into that often enough? Some of the practices around that really work are taking 5 minutes out as often as you can throughout the day, just to focus on that. Remind yourself of the dream. Remind yourself of what's possible, possibility thinking. I remember in my early days, I followed a plan that Zig Ziglar taught, and he said, right, you want to have all of your goals written down on a small piece of paper, and you want to be pulling that piece of paper out several times a day and just reading it to yourself as in the present moment as achieved. Just keep reading it throughout the day. Interrupt your day, read it to yourself. Interrupt your day, read it to yourself. Over time, it's like water hitting a rock. Over time, you start breaking those old habits, because the volume of what you're committed to is loud enough to interrupt your comfort zones, interrupt your usual flow of the day of how you do things. You've got to create those interruptions so you can make room for growth. So remind yourself every day, why? Why should you succeed? Why do you deserve to succeed? Why you and not somebody else? Like, there are very few seats available at the table of success. You just got to know that. The table of success is limited to a few. Not everyone gets to feast at the table of success. So why should you be feasting at the table of success? Why, why you? Why should the universe say, do you know what? I'm inviting you to the table. Be deserving of the invitation. What's the old saying? The universe doesn't care what you want or what you need. The universe responds to what you deserve. It's a nice little phrase, right? Nice little twist, nice little take. The universe responds to what you deserve. Interesting take. Well, if you're willing to break a bad habit by doing something 1,000 times against the bad habit to transform it, I would say, if I was the instructor, yeah, you deserve the next, unlocking the next learning, whatever that might be. You deserve it now. If you've done wax on, wax off 1,000 times, then as the instructor, I might say, do you know what? Yeah, you deserve to know now how to paint walls up and down. You progress from doing this to doing this, right? But first you've got to do this. You with me? So measure yourself. Do you deserve all the things that you desire for yourself? So build your dreams, build your burning desire, break it down into goals, right? Goals are dreams broken down into action steps with timelines. So dream bigger. If you're not dreaming already, learn to dream. If you're already dreaming, dream bigger. Don't dream so big that you don't believe in your dream, right? Because then you'll never take action over it anyway. The dream has got to be believable, right? So one of the things for me often is if I find a reference of somebody's done something, it makes it really easy for me. If someone else can do something, I can do it. If somebody else can get to the top, I can get to the top. If somebody else can make X amount a month, I can make X amount a month. Always have that like mindset. So then find evidence. Where do you want to be? Find evidence of people that are where you want to be and say, right, bingo, there you go. Now I know it's possible. Now I've got to make it possible for me. What's that going to take? Well, let's have a look. Let's study them. What did they do? How did they do it? Okay, where do I measure with that? And you might have to reevaluate some things, right? What are your priorities? What do you put high on your value list? What's important to you? What do you give focus and attention to? Where does your energy flow? So do some of these little checks on yourself and see if you're the person that deserves it, or is there a gap? Can you be more deserving? I think most of us can put our hand up and say, do you know what? I could definitely be more deserving. Yeah. And then have a look at what you can do to be on the journey of that deserving. So look, it's been really good sharing with you guys and hearing from you guys and interacting today. I want to round it off as we always do by hearing from you. What were the highlights, the learnings, the key points, and what are you going to take away from today? So stick your hand up and share with the value added to you today. Sharon, hey.
Hi. Yeah, Kalpesh, really good. Back to basics. Back to basics. I think, people, as I said, people run before they can walk. I think learning to walk comfortably and then maybe take a little jog. And, when you get up the ranks, you can start jogging a bit more. I just feel that it's all about consistency, Kalpesh, and I think plugging in. If you're not plugged in, let me tell you, it ain't happening. Right?
So
I don't care who you are. If you're not plugged in, it's not happening. You've got to be consistent with yourself. Even if you're not in the mood, plug in anyway. Just leave it in the background and do your cooking or whatever. Just be present.
Yeah.
Every meeting that I can get on, I get on. There are times that I can't get on. I'm driving, I've got my grandson in the back or something. I can't get on. And I think, hey, I've got to pass out. I'm spending quality time with my son. So if you're doing something deserving that's good for you, don't feel guilty about it. And I don't.
Yeah.
But I think, well done, Kalpesh. Just a great reminder for all of us. The basics, the consistency, and just keep smiling. Like we'll get a bit of dizziness.
Exactly.
And then we've got the grandpas and the Dr. V nods to shame us. And then we've got the likes of Kalpesh Patel that can drive us. I just think between us all as a community that we've got the gift and most people are educated, know that finding the right tool and the right project and the right system it's at the top priority as well. So I feel that we're going to be smiling in the future. Thanks, Kalpesh.
Thank you, Sharon. Awesome. Peter.
Yeah, no, Kalpesh, well done. Great to go through this, and it's a good reminder. But if I pull out one thing, actually, Sharon mentioned it earlier as well. I'm going to use the word to cover it, persistency, but it reminded me of a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson.
Yeah.
This ability to just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And all those little bits of keep doing it can add up to an amazing result. Yeah. So that would be my takeaway from today. I mean, amongst other things, but that's the thing I'd focus on. It's the slight edge. It's doing those little bits, those income producing activities. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And relish in the fact, maybe, that most people don't.
Correct. And a really great point. Thank you, Peter, for highlighting that. And a great book, by the way, really great reference. If you haven't visited it, I certainly recommend that one for sure. Darren Hardy talks about it in a slightly different way as well, in the compound effect. And that's all the same stuff. You'd be amazed. Tony Robbins talks about how most people overestimate what they can do in a short space of time and underestimate what they can achieve in a longer space of time. And it's all about consistency. It's doing a little bit every day And bam, when you look 5 years down the line, you look back and go, how the hell did I do that? And it's because you did a little bit every day, not because you did loads on the 1st of January and then forgot about it for 12 months and then tried to do loads again next January. Nothing happens to those people. Most people do it every January. Just know that. Most people have a moment of inspiration, a moment of excitement, a vision for themselves for a moment, and then they are unable to follow through. And that's the only difference. All of the successful people tell you the only difference is that consistency being, made as part of your habit structure. So brilliant. Thank you for that. John, how you doing, buddy? Go for it.
Can you hear me, Kalpesh?
Yes, we can.
Yes, fantastic. Listen, just a few points there. It's always nice to be reminded of basics, because it's not like, we're not building a nuclear rocket or any of that kind of stuff. It's just, it's simple. And it's always nice to be reminded of the basics. As Sharon mentioned, consistency. As Peter mentioned, the 1% rule, the slight edge. I've read all them books, and it's that little bit. It's like when people become overweight, you don't just go to McDonald's 2 times and put on 100 kilos. It's a compound over years and success as well. You don't just, do 2 big, large steps to Mount Everest. It's the little bits every single day. But quite often, and I've got to admit that I make this error. I'm very impatient. I'll be, why isn't this happening? But it is happening. We're planting those seeds, and a guy that I love and adore very dearly is Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Now we because the Newtonian model of cause and effect. We're waiting for that person to come into our lives before we join the business, or we're waiting for this event to happen before we get excited. But we can actually cause an effect with the quantum model. And when you understand that concept of causing an effect, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. And so thank you very much for sharing.
Perfect. Thank you. Beautifully expressed. And again, this infinite what you can learn once you step into this beautiful world, as John has just touched on there as well. And the cause and effect concept. I mean, I just want to touch on this. The word because is kind of collapsed, right? People normally use because as an excuse, but you can break it up into be cause and it flips the whole thing around. You can be cause or because. I didn't get on the Zoom because. I didn't invite so-and-so because. I didn't follow up so-and-so because. And that because can very quickly become a be cause, and it flips the whole thing around. So yeah, be cause rather than just becausing all over yourself. Sue.
Hey Kalpesh, such an awesome conversation, and I've just really loved all the sharing. I've loved that you've opened up today's call to have lots of people sharing. I think there's a lot of growth in that for everybody. Just the highlight of the conversation around breaking down your income producing activities and your non-income producing activities. It reminded me of when I read the Atomic Habits, where he talked about actually make the non-income producing habits be the reward, which is what you said, of after you've completed income producing activities, and I think it was really great to, highlight what some of those are, like doing the presentations, building rapport with people, making calls. Sometimes people are not clear on what those are, and, just really kind of like, how you just shared them today. I think, probably loads of people have got a lot out of that today. Is like, whenever you're interacting with people, whenever you're making a call, whenever you're presenting, these are all income producing activities. It's the, making tea, putting the washing in, doing the Hoover, talking to your auntie that are, that's going to stop you, take you away from, especially because we're all working from home, right? And it's easy to get caught up in that, thinking that you're, getting into integrity with your home, but actually it's not helping you build your business. So really just, again, going back to Sharon's thing around that consistently every day doing those activities really works. And then I liked what Dizzy said about going out and meeting new people. I think that's so key, because we could sit around and be like, okay, so if you've been in the network marketing space for a long time, I mean, I haven't, but in the last project that we did, I feel like I spoke to nearly everybody who was like, low hanging fruit, if you like. and now, you know, they're kind of done deal. Now I've got to find new people and build relationships with people. So really just going out there and attending networking events as much as I can, and sharing about it at every opportunity that I meet people. And, you know, and that's what's bringing me the success now. So it's very, very exciting. And you meet new people, connect with new leaders, and make new friendships as well.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. And yeah, you know, meeting new people also. One of the other things you've got really good at is harvesting your existing network as well. You know, we've got a product here that everybody loves, and sometimes they just need a reminder to buy more of it, and they do when you ask them. So you've been doing that really successfully.
Yeah, loads of that has happened this week as well, just out of nowhere, you know, just having conversations with people and bringing that up, you know, and they've topped up their, you know, their minting packages and stuff. So yeah, that's been really effortless as well this week.
Good. Monish, hey.
Hey, I gotta say, be honest with you guys, I haven't been on this call for a very, very long time. And I have to slap myself and say, why do I miss these calls? Because no matter how long you've been in the industry, no matter how many books you read or how many trainings you've been to, you need to have this, you know, constant injections going into your brain. So because you're bombarded of this stuff that is going around you all the time, no matter where you go. So I believe and I hope that everybody brings one or two people to this call, no matter what company they're doing, no matter what they're doing, because they need to hear this. Everybody needs to hear this. No matter if they're in the networking arena or not, they need to hear this. They need this positive injection daily. But this is not daily, but at least when you have this opportunity to listen to positive people, they're missing out something. And I missed out so many hours and hours and hours from you guys. I feel ashamed. But it's never too late, but you have to be humble enough to agree that you mess up. But I don't want to stay in the mess, so I need to get on the bandwagon again. Yeah, thanks for a great call. Unfortunately, I couldn't from the first topic when you started, but I could summarize a little bit. We have a lot of people in our network. Sometimes we call them in Sweden called NATO. You know what NATO is, right? No action, talk only. So, so
no action, talk only.
So they are not the action takers, and so we need to be aware of them and just keep going according to all these people's great option that set down your goals, read your goals, and you follow your goals, not follow the NATO's. So yeah, and thanks once again for the time, and thanks for all your encouraging messages today from all the speakers. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you, Monish. Great to have you back in the saddle or on the wagon.
Yeah,
looking forward to doing great things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andy.
Hello, Caps. All right. Yeah, what an evening. Freedom, fulfillment, independence, awareness, satisfaction. God, I wish I had all of those, because yesterday I had a terrible day. Yesterday was one of those days when nothing went right from beginning to end. It was a Monday, which doesn't help. I think often people have oh God, it's Monday. I don't actually have that very often because I never know the difference between Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Wednesday. Every day to me is basically another day. And, but I have one of those days where no matter what I wanted to do, there was somebody there that wanted to tick a box before it could be done. Specifically, one little thing was my wife had a telephone that she can't use anymore. So I thought, I know what I do. I'll cancel the account. I pay the bill because I understand there's some money owing on it. I didn't know there was, but I found out that. So I got onto the phone company, and they wouldn't have, and they had to talk to my wife. And I said, I'm sorry, you can't. She, you know, whatever I said, no, we've got to talk. I said, well, I can't do it. You'll have to find another way out of it. I said, she can't talk anymore. She doesn't have any ability to speak, and if she did, she wouldn't know what she was talking about. Anyway, this went on for nearly 1.5 hours, And now talking about wasting time, I just got so fed up with it. In the end of it, after the third call, because I kept getting cut off as well. After the third call, I finally found an email that I could send to them, an email. So I sent that off to them, and I got an email back this morning. They want a picture of my passport. They want the power of attorney document. They want just anything and everything about my life before I can go on and pay this bill. And I don't know how much it is. I believe it's about 50 quid. But whatever happened, they wouldn't tell me what it was. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And this is the problem, isn't it? So I had, and there's 2 or 3 other things. I won't go into it because it takes too long. But with all of these words you hear, when I got up this morning, it was Tuesday. I thought, well, we got to do something a bit different today. And I have solved all of those problems today in about an hour with different things. And I'm happy, I'm cheerful, and I got on with it. And I think that's what you have to do, isn't it? You just have to get up and get on with it. Yeah. Because there are so many people out there that are trying to kick you down and knock you down and tell you off and you know, stop you trying to achieve what you want to achieve. Now, all right, like with Dr. Bernard and myself, I've achieved quite a lot in my life. I've been very lucky. I've had a fantastic life. I've been absolutely wonderful. And sometimes this talk of goals, etc., doesn't really do. I've been there, done it, got the flipping medal and the T-shirt as well. But
yeah,
so I have to have some other sort of motivation. And that now is trying to help other people. That's my motivation now. Not myself. I don't need it anymore. I can manage. I can get by every day. But if I can help somebody do what I should have done or could have done 20, 30, 40 years ago, brilliant. And that's what it's all about now for me. I don't want a big boat. Well, you know, I wish I could afford one, but I don't want one. And I don't want a Rolls Royce. I'm quite happy with my little car outside. That's all I need. So, you know, but the want for me now is to get the need in other people, the need and the want, and get their dreams and their hopes going. That's what I'm all about.
Absolutely.
And all of these words are absolutely fantastic, really. And the other, consistency, friendly, I've got them all written down. I'm going to put them all on a big sheet. Because I think they're just all wonderful words, all of these. Thank you very much indeed for this evening. It's been fantastic.
Thank you, Andy. And you know, really beautifully highlighted that we will all have those days, right? Those challenges are there, and those challenging days are there, I say, to test us to see, are we really committed? And yep, you are, because the next day you got up and you went again. And how many people don't go again? They throw the towel and go, well, I can't be bothered now. That was too much. And bang.
Well, it's the old thing, isn't it? I won't let the bastards grind me down. Too old for that.
Love it. There you go. And that's the mindset you got to have, right? That's it. You get focus on what you got to get done. Brilliant. Thank you, Andy.
Cheers, mate.
Beautiful. Sivule.
Hello, Sir KP. How are you?
Wonderful. Yourself?
I'm fine, Sir KP. I'm fine.
Good.
Sir KP, you are gold. You are diamond. You are everything.
Oh.
I think many people in South Africa will think about you. You know, when they say forewarned, forearmed, you warned the people before. But what the situation is currently, and I think they are thinking about you. They are going to phone you, and they are going to congratulate you. You are a diamond. You are a gold mine.
Yes.
You warned people before, and you warned people. You told them this is this, this is that. And really, I respect you, the KP. Keep up the good work. You have insight, you have foresight. Others didn't see what you were seeing before. Keep up the good work. Things are crumbling, things are happening. And you are there, you are standing, and you are standing as gold. You are shining, keep on shining.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that message, Sivule, from across the waters. Thank you so much. Sharon, you got your hand back up?
Sorry, I'm sorry to invade, guys.
No, not at all.
I had one of our guys that's in the business with us, and he said something to me the other day. And obviously, we're all here to create wealth, right? We're all here. The top and bottom of it is we don't do this for our health, but we've got to enjoy it along the way. But he actually said to me, and I went, oh my God. And it's really been zoning in on me. And it's like, if you want to get wealthy, you've got to do it slowly.
Mm.
And I was like, hallelujah. So did you hear that, people? If you want to get wealthy, you need to do it slowly.
Mm.
So that, I mean, that we could go into that, couldn't you? But I think the people that you can understand that, right?
I can. I think there's seasons for, depending on where you're at in your journey, there's seasons that you've got to go through. And certainly there is a phase where success does love speed, and it does need, that 100% push at a certain point. There are moments of that, and there are definitely moments of being sustainable. You can't maintain that level of intensity all the time. And so, yeah, the long game is always the long game. That's like, for me, who are you? Like, who are you in the grand scheme of life? What do you stand for? What are your values? Once you understand that, for me, network marketing became my career of choice 27 years ago, because it aligned with everything that I stand for. And Andy captured it beautifully. Making a difference for me is a fundamental for me. It's like, if what I'm doing doesn't add value and make a difference, I'm not interested in how much money it pays. It's like, sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm just, I'm not engaged. It doesn't entertain me at all, right? Whereas other people can sacrifice that. For me, I won't sacrifice that, right? So everyone has their thing. So yeah, long-term sustainability is, I think, what you're touching on, that if you want to get wealthy, then it's got to be done over a long period of time. I think that talks about the sustainability of the consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
No point being consistent for a couple of weeks and burning out.
Yeah, I just love it. And it kind of, what we're doing kind of really fits really well in that.
Absolutely.
And just beautifully said. If you want to get wealthy, do it slowly. And I was like,
beautiful.
Holla Blinkenlulia.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, guys, if you knew 3 years ago what you know now, you probably would have consistently, done something every single day to make a better future, because people wouldn't be so complacent, right? But anyway, beautiful. Thank you, Kalpesh. Wonderful to have a chat with everybody tonight. I've absolutely loved it.
Thank you. And it's been awesome having all of you contribute, everyone that shared, whether you realize it or not. And I want to finish off with this. Just showing up, first of all, showing up is a huge contribution to the community. By you being here, whether you speak up or don't, doesn't matter. Being here, you add to the flavor, the texture, the value of the event, right? So first of all, thank you for everyone that shows up. And then, of course, if you have something to add, not just raising your hand and speaking for the sake of speaking, but if you feel you have something that's relevant and something to add, like many did today, then that is, although you're sharing your point of view, your perspective, the impact you're having on the community at large is limitless. Like, you have no clue who has been lifted because of you, who has been reached or touched because of you, who got moved enough to say, do you know what? That hit me, that worked, that made sense to me. So thank you for everybody that shares, always. We always make an impact on the people that are sitting and listening, and that they've come here for that. They've come here to pick something up from someone. And so you are that someone that enables somebody else's growth and ability to reach up to their next level. So thank you, everyone. It's been amazing as always. I can't wait to see you again here next week on Tuesday. As always, bring your teams, bring your friends, bring your contacts. As Monish said, bring everybody. It is an hour of power, as we like to say, right? So let's just bring them and have fun with it. And tomorrow night is a big one. Every Wednesday is a big one anyway, but tomorrow night is in particular because Goran is going to do a short presentation followed by a quick overview of recent updates from corporate on what they're up to right now and in the immediate, call it the next 90 days. So really exciting call. Get all of your team members onto that call, especially with that in mind, that they'll pick up what's happening, what's the next 90-day rollout plan for everything that's happening right now at head office. So let's get everyone on that call and get them all up to date and educated and trained on what's going on.